they don't maintain hygienic and the quality.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
second challenge is like some of the street vendors, they are very popular for one specific item, so they are heavily dependent on that.
Mhm.
And home delivery is not available. Then
Mhm.
not provide quantity.
Mhm.
Business
Nice, nice.
business is unpredictable. Like depend upon the
Mhm.
season wise also. So these are all challenge how to run all time. Then lack of
Mhm.
technology and the business knowledge. They don't know how to expand. So this kind of
So nice, like your exploration area is interesting. So it would be interesting to see how the research inside would come up. So, so all the people, like I would ask all of you to come on Miro board so that we could proceed with the next step. Everyone, please come to Miro board. I am just sharing the link again of the Miro in the chat. The password of it is this. You can find it in the chat and then yeah, all of you please come to Miro board. Till now, I can see only two people on the Miro board.
I mean,
Yeah, nice, Jigyasa. So you should put on the Miro board also, no, so that I can see it. That
yeah,
would be nice.
I'm just learning. I don't know how to copy from the.
No worries, no worries. Like you can just paste it on a Word document and then copy and paste it on the Miro. That would be easy way.
Okay.
Yeah. Because board to board copy sometimes like you can
How do we, I
so
mean, should I select and paste in Word, right? That's it, right?
yeah, just double click on it. Once it becomes editable, you can just copy it, paste it, and then from there copy paste it to the Miro.
Can I share my screen just for 1 minute?
Yeah, wait. I'll show you how it's
Okay.
done. So
Okay.
are you on the Miro board?
Yes, I'm on.
So see, if I click this, so I've selected this like this.
Can you go do 1 second?
Yeah, can you see? Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, if I click on this, so
So
like this.
okay, yeah. So each item I need to copy paste.
So if you have like collectively written it, then it will be easy for you. Otherwise, you can just Miro word to Miro word copy is also possible. Like these let's
See,
say these four are there. I
okay.
just copied it and what happened. So suppose this is some other board which is there, right? So I can just open it like this. Like see, I can just paste it like this. If you have a look, it will be pasted like this.
Okay.
See, so this is how you can paste it. Mirror board to mirror board copy and paste is possible, so you will not face any issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's come to mirror board. So after we have prepared questions, so let's arrange the questions based on the priorities. Like what questions? So
Hello,
we can
sir.
start. Yes.
I think someone is waiting to join. Yeah.
I've already let them in. Like no
Okay,
one is
thank
there. So I will so we can just go on the mirror board and see. Like we can like what were the problem statement that you were trying to solve. You have to understand the nutrition related problem in rural areas of India and understand the user base here and find out solution based on it in the form of digital products. Right. So grounding questions were there. So you can just, what you can do is you can just take a sticky note. So and you can start with the questions like what food they have on the regular basis, like very generic questions which are there. Climatic condition, nutrients which are generally low. What kind of food is available in India? Sorry, what kind of food is available in the area? So you can write down first question like this: what kind of food is available in this area? Right. Second question can be what kind of food you are eating on daily basis. So this question can come second. What kind of problem? What food you have regularly? Do they get sufficient food in a day? This can be some. And this can be maybe second questions. Second question it can be there. Make it third. What kind of problem you face? What problem do you face? This can be fourth question. Do you know what nutritious food to eat? Uh, these questions are also good questions. So whenever you're writing down the questions, so the idea should be, it should make a sense in a form of a story. Like it should form a sequence of sequence in which it is being asked, so that users should not feel discontinued in the conversation. If you jump between different questions very randomly, so what will happen? User will so just consider having a conversation with anyone. So you don't jump onto different things randomly, right? So you like continue the pace of conversation, and then you keep on asking new questions, and then new interventions, and then you keep on exploring different areas. The same goes with interviews as well. So what you do is start with grounding questions, and then you start with very basic questions, and then you amplify it, amplify the area of opportunity, area of like exploration, and then you go deep into it, right? So let's say I have taken these six questions, uh, 6 or 7 questions, 6 or 7 questions here, right? So this was my grounding questions. Now let's create one sticky note for dive deep questions, like how much money they are ready to spend on a
Can you
healthy
please
diet if
zoom?
provide. Sorry.
Can you please zoom?
Yeah, sure.
I was able to copy.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
So, next coming on to the dive deep questions. So, what will happen? What will happen here? Let's see what will happen here. How much money they are ready to spend on a healthy diet if provided to them? So, you can continue this question with this question. No, this with the seven question you can continue this. How much money you are ready to spend on a healthy diet if provided to them? Right? What problem that they face? This is a different question. Like this is entirely a different question which is there. So so how we can go about it is, like, we have put eight. What kind of problems they face while with the food they eat to get proper nutrition. The food they afford is sufficient for the whole household considering the age group of all the members. This is some question that can come afterwards, right? And now see, like in the last class, we discussed that questions should not be leading, or question should not be in a way that it ends up being a one-word answer or one sentence answer, right? So have a look at this. So you will find out that this question is kind of that question only. The food that they afford is sufficient for the whole household, considering the age groups of all the members, right? So it is a yes or no question eventually. What do you think? Is it? At the end they will say yes it is sufficient, or no it is not sufficient, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what you can do with this question is, what is you thinking? We can frame it like, okay, uh, what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on the food and the food you go for is sufficient for the whole household considering the age groups of all the members. So now we have associated this question with thoughts. So what will happen? So this will not be only yes or no question, but it will initiate some more conversation also, right? It will initiate more conversation also, and what will happen after it? You will be able to get more insight from it. And now after you have written all the questions, now coming on to the question which have opportunity area, right? So you can go like in the food that you eat. Right? This sequence and the last question can be this, right? So overall, your questions can be something like your final questionnaires can be something in a form of this plus this and plus this. Got it? Any confusion? So this is how we have arranged the questionnaires together. Any confusion till here? The final question is how to prepare the final questions based on the prompts that you generated. Yes? No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now see, what is it?
Sequence
So
we need
after
to
the
follow. Any sequence we need to follow? No. Right now, no, right? We just have to write it out.
like a sequence should be followed. Like see, the sequence of question that you are putting that should make a sense in a form of a conversation. That is all you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, what question you are putting first, what question you are putting next, does not matter actually. Just that it should make a sense when you make a conversation to the person while doing the interview,
Okay.
right? Right, otherwise what will happen, like user will feel discontent from the thing that you're asking him, right? So
Okay.
after that, after you create these questionnaires, when now is the time when you start putting up insight from the user. This is the question that you finalized, right? I'll just put it here. You can follow my cursor. I can just write it.
So we are preparing the question which we need to ask.
Yes, yes.
I got the other way. I thought we already done research and what were the outcomes.
No, 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 no. Like this was the question. So now we'll talking about the insight, and based on that, we'll be doing the affinity mapping. So in last session, we have discussed already upon what are the different type of questions that we are going to ask, and how do we frame those questions, right?
Right.
Now in this session, we are just sequencing them, and we'll start with putting out insights of that questions, right?
Yes.
And based on that, what we'll do affinity mapping. So let's see what kind of insights we can get.
Can you please zoom?
Yeah, yeah. Is it visible? So just now I would require all of you to just help me with putting up some insights. So since we cannot rapidly do some interview with some people, so I want all of your help to just put out insight based on questions that are there. So suppose that if you like, if I'm asking you these questions, so what would be your insight from there, what would be your answers from that, right? So considering that, just write down few of the points. I'm also writing it down based on the question that you are seeing above. We'll just put out some insight from that. So in actual sense, what you will be doing, you will be interviewing people and then you will be writing insight from them, right? So what we
Okay,
can,
sir.
so we can start putting up sticky notes. Like you can go with the first question is, what kind of food is available in your area, in your area. So I can write as we like, what kind of food is available. So mostly I can write mostly uh, wheat based foods, dal, and some regional regional vegetables, right? So similarly, you can also put out some insights. Okay, what are the different kind of food that is available, like how I have written it. You can just put out some sticky notes and write it down. And for each question, we have to do, so for all the questions that are there, we have to do the same things, right? So once that is done, then we'll be moving on to affinity mapping. Anything, any confusion that you are facing, here, like if you're having a little doubt, tell me. You can just start
I'm
putting out insights. Yes, Tarun?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean,
Yeah. So you can just start putting out, all of you can start putting out insights, because why I'm not, why I am only not doing it,
yeah.
because then it would be very biased thing. Okay, what I'm thinking, I'm just putting.
So
I'm writing all. Yes.
can we convert this format into table so that it will be in two column, and we can have question, another column respective answer we can get it.
Yeah, you can have it like, if you want that thing to, you can just copy first question like this, and maybe you can just write it down in a sticky note and change the color of it, so that it becomes visible that these are the questions and these are the answers which are related to it. Let me do that for you, like, so that it becomes easy for everyone.
We cannot convert into all tabular format.
You have to manually do it, like
Okay,
it
manually you have
cannot.
to.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have
got
to
it. Got it.
manually do it, so better key you make it in a form of sticky notes.
Yes.
Yes, guys, please write down the insight, like whatever you think can be answer, you can just write it against the questions that are mentioned, and refrain from putting just directly one word answer, or one word answer like yes or no, especially. And rest of the things we can do easily. So you can come up
Yeah.
with the things that they like, things that they don't like, their pain points, or what they want to achieve in the terms of nutrition and all. You can write all of those insights, whatever comes to your mind. You can write it all.
So I have taken up the second one. I just framed.
Mm, yeah. No, they hardly manage two times food. The reason is economical condition as there are few job available. They live on 60, 70 kilometers away
Kilometers.
from city. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good, good. Yes, what about others? Like why anyone else is not writing? Yash, Spandan, Sachin. Like if you all part, like if you all write it down together, we can just quickly get over with this process, and then we can learn next process. Otherwise it will take time.
I am doing third one.
Yeah, yeah. So all of you, whoever is present in the session, so please go to Miro and do that, right? This I'm just give like take 10 minutes. I'll be here only. If you want to ask something, you can ask. So by right now it is 10:32. By 10:42 will be we should see some insight from the board, right? Based on that, we can make some categorization.
Hello? Can someone put the password to this board? I can't access the board.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just putting it. Putting the password. Did you get it? On the chat. Just have a look in the chat. You will be getting the password.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it.
Nice, nice. So the whatever insights you're writing, it can be positive, it can be negative. It's all kind of insights are invited. It should not be in a way that like you'll not find every person like talking in a negative way only, like talking about problems. Some people might think that whatever they are getting, it is enough for them. So write insights in that way possible as well. So that is totally up to you. Just have a mix of all the insights.
Okay. But what I am typing, this is all real data.
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice. And that's what we are trying to trying to put, like we want real data only, like just for the activity purpose. I'm asking you all to just put insights so that we could we could understand the process. Otherwise it is all real data that you ask from people, and then you make out insight from it.
Actually, question 5 and 6, they both are related. Sachin Deshmukh, can you please remove your cursor? Yeah, thank you.
Are we done? So just let's stop for wherever we are. We'll use this much data whatever we have we have collected till now, we'll be using this data as well,
Okay.
this data only to do the affiliating. You can do as much as interviews that you want. So ideally, see, so first thing, like let's see what is coming from this. See, whenever you're making questions, so always make sure that you're not going beyond 12, 13, or maybe maximum 15 questions, because in when you do that, it makes the interview very, very long. And you talk on sometimes you will be you will get to talk on the things that you don't require actually, right? So question, like preparing questions is a very critical thing, so that because your insights is based on what you ask, right? So keep 10 questions only, but keep those 10 questions very solid, so that whatever you ask, you get proper insights from that. One thing is that, right? And whatever insight that you will get after that, that will be a proper insight. So the quality of insight that I'm seeing is very good, right? We can, so after this, what we have to do, just have a look at can you look are you able to see this on this
Right.
screen,
Yes.
research analysis? Yeah. So let's have a look at, after we do that, putting up insights on the board, what we have to do, we have to do analysis of the research. So what we'll be doing, so what why do we actually do research analysis? So now we have got so much of data, right? You have put so much of data, but that those data are not categorized, or not like not arranged as per the similarities, right? So what you will do, you will try to find the patterns in those data, like what are the similar kind of information, what are there, what are the dissimilar information which is there, and trying to form an insight from try to form a conclusion out of it, right? So that is our task with the help of research analysis. And how do we do that? We do that with the help of affinity mapping, right? Affinity, like affinity refers to the similarity between the data, or the categorization between the data. That is called affinity mapping. Key uh,
Can you
to
please repeat
similar.
what you
Yeah,
said regarding affinity market?
yeah, after you have collected, so now you have collected large amount of data with the help of insight, right?
Right.
So now it is your task to categorize those information in some categories, like some based on some similarities. Like you can categorize based on the pain points that they are getting. You can categorize based on the eating habits that they are having, or you can categorize them based on the expenditure that they are making, the pain points that they have. You will categorize the data that you have got based on these verticals, right? So these verticals, the topics that I'm saying, that can come entirely from your like entirely from your insights. Like it is not decided thing ki this will be there, and based on that only you have to categorize it. Whatever similar kind of information you are getting, you have to just put it together first, and try to find out what it is, like concluding, like it is concluding eating habits, or it is concluding pain points, or goal points, whatever it is, right? And once we do that, we try to find patterns, ki what it is leading to, what kind of pattern we are seeing in the people, what they are actually doing, right?
So affinity is used to get some categorization from the research.
Yes, yes. So affinity mapping is generally used for finding out patterns of how people are behaving, how people's experiences are, and similar kind of things, right? So experiences, motivations, goals, pain points, behaviors, and their habits, different factors which are there, which are associated, and which are very personal to them. We find out with the help of affinity mapping.
In
Got
real
it?
time scenario,
Mhm.
like do we have any timeline, on average timeline, where we need to complete research and come up with the affinity report?
See, like there is no, like you can do as much research as possible. Like the more research you do, the more it is better, right? But
Yeah.
like what is done in the companies, you do these things with the help of design sprints. Design sprint is a kind of a process which is taken into companies to just like quickly, like it is an agile method of like iterating on processes, right? So what you do in affinity like what you do in design sprints, you divide like according to design thinking, you divide 5 phases of design thinking into 5 days.
Yes.
Day one is dedicated to empathize. Day two
Yeah.
is dedicated to definition. Then day three is been dedicated to prototyping. And like day three is dedicated to ideating. Day four is dedicated to prototyping, and fifth day is dedicated for testing out whatever you have got. And
Yes.
if some outcome comes, then you again go back to like you create like you iterate on design sprints. So that is how it is done in the industries. So you get so that depends on that depends on team, that whether they want to conduct design sprints in 1 day manner or 2 day manner. Like you can like how you are dedicating 1 day to a specific segment. You can like in the same way you can dedicate 2 days, 3 days, like how much time you want to give to it based
Actually,
on what is your project timeline. So if let's say if your project timeline is of 3 months, and you can do at least design sprints in that, that is up to you. Like if you whether you want to create a 5 day design sprint, or whether you want to create 10 day design sprint.
I'm still not understanding properly. So
Mhm.
this research and affinity, where does it fit? I mean, it is before the design sprint, or it is one part of it within the design sprint.
It is one part of it. It is one part of it. See, we are doing everything with the help of design thinking, right?
Yes.
We are proceeding ahead with the design thinking, and right now we are in the empathizing phase, right?
Okay. So,
Right.
so in empathize phase, you mean to say that in this particular empathize phase, people those will attend is the product manager and also UX guy, UI guy, and
UI guy might not UI guy might not be there. Like that is like it is not required. Like
okay,
he or she is not required actually in this phase. UI
okay,
comes when you define, like UI comes when you ideate on solutions and you start creating the
okay.
layouts of the screen.
Yes, I got it.
Then the part of UI designer comes.
I got it now.
Before that, before it, all the UX designers role is there. So
Yes, I
program
got it.
managers, project
Yeah.
managers will be there, stakeholders will be there, like who are like contributing towards a research part, right?
Yes.
So those people will come into place, right?
And and
And
and and one
yes,
last question on this:
yes,
what will
yes.
be the input for this affinity?
Input of this affinity will be the insights from your interviews or
Okay,
secondary research. Like
okay,
you just how we put the insights on the mirror what just now we did it, right? So that same thing you will do with actual data when you when you will interview different people,
I
right?
got it. I got it, Aditya.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. So when we start the affinity pyramid, so right now your board is something like this, right? Your board is something like this, which is scattered and it does not have any pattern. You are just you have just arranged question like answers based on the question that was asked, right?
Yes.
Now what is the method that you will that you will adopt? You will find out patterns. You will find out groupings in between those data, and this will be independent of what questions you have asked, right? So you will just keep aside whatever question you ask, and you will consider this thing just
Can you
like
please zoom further?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is a very small data. I'll just show you with the help of actual thing that is there with us, right? So now this information is there, right? So I'll just copy it like this, and I'll place it together here, right? So now don't consider key it is arranged as per the questions. Now consider it as a different set of data, like independent set of data which is there, right? Which has nothing to do with the questions. Now you're only related, like you are only concerned of these data which is there, right?
So, like sort of reverse engineering.
Yeah, yeah. So
So in
this
Excel,
data,
we get all this, and then the question which we have, that will be sort of categorization.
So what actually happens? So after you have after you have put the question was to take out inside see why you put questions and why you then so you might feel confused ki first I'm deciding question what are the type of question that I'm asking, then I'm finding out insights, and then again I'm categorizing it, right? This can be a
No,
point of confusion.
I'm fine. I got it. Yes.
So what happens, so when you ask something to the user, so he might come up with the different experiences, different thought process in the same question, right? Which might not be possible to categorize in one thing together, right? So that's why we first put down all the insight that we are finding, and after that when we put down all the insights, then we start categorizing it based on what are the patterns. Sometimes we break the statements also into two different parts, I'll give you example. If see, this is the insight that you have written, right? You have written for the one question, right? But this actually has different insights. Mostly 80% they eat rice both times. Then it is rice because it is cheap. They eat vegetable but limited out to potato and onion. And similarly, you will find out insights which have multiple insights, right? So when you do categorization, you often break it down into simpler pieces so that it becomes more consumable and more accessible to the UX researcher.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's why we do it. So so after we do this, so now is the time when we categorize similar kind of data together, right? Are you able to see where my cursor is? Are you
Yes.
all able to see?
Yes.
Yeah. Like till this point, things are clear to everyone. Yes. No.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Adit.
Yes. Yeah. So just have a look. See, so first, these are the 5 steps to create affinity diagram. So first is generating ideas that we already did, display ideas that we already did. Now we will start with the sort ideas into group, create header card, and draw finish diagram. So finish diagram. So affinity mapping can be a pre-phase and post-phase. Like pre-phase of affinity mapping can be there, and a final phase of affinity mapping can be there, right? So we'll be having a look at both how we create a pre-phase of affinity mapping and a final phase of affinity mapping. How do we create it, right? So first step is you have captured it. Now you will group it. You will group the similar kind of information together, and then based on the patterns that you are finding, you will label them like this. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. And what and what kind of insights you will be getting? You will be getting user statements. User statements are those lines which was actually said by the user, like just writing it down without any change, just writing it down whatever the user said, right? Observation can be he's the user is saying something, user is answering some question to you, and you found out some observation pattern, and then you written it down, right? One of the observation is kids live in their own imaginative world, right? So maybe you are asking some questions related to kids to some parents, and some parent is saying that in continuing with the conversation that they are doing, they're saying that kids are very innocent and they live in their own imaginative world. So this is an observation that you can find out from that statement or whatever he's saying. It's similar kind of information, small information can be there, which can be a little observation that is from your end, not from the user's end, because user will only tell you different answers, right? And the third thing is problem point. So this is like all your research work is actually directed towards this thing. What is the problem of the user? Like finding out what is the problem and why we are creating any project, right? So all the points which are associated with any pain point, you will try to find it out, right? So these are the three major categories of information. Apart from it, the type of information uh, that you might get is the positive points, like what makes user happy or what makes user motivated, these kind of things, right? And final outcome of the affinity mapping will look like something like this. This is the final phase of the affinity mapping. See, the information is categorized based on location, profession, technological expertise, age, languages, habits, personality traits, motivation, pain points, and goals. So all the information that you have collected till now, so this is a very detailed information. You will simplify it down and you will categorize it to form a final affinity mapping. And after that final affinity mapping, we'll use that affinity mapping to create personas, to create personas, stories, and customer journey maps, right?
Yes.
So let's come to our Miro board. So let's see. Are we all on Miro board?
Yes.
Yeah. So so now that we have got some insights. So let's put out similar kinds of insight together, like uh, what were the questions that we asked? What kind of food is available on the in the area? So see, mostly wheat-based products. So just starting it all, like we will, what we'll do, we'll try to separate out similar kind of information. Like this is one kind of information, mostly wheat-based products, mostly rice-based items, uh, rice and smashed potatoes. Like this similar kind of information which is there, right? So you can just find out what are the different information which is related to it, right? So uh, this is also similar kind of information, right? So similarly, you can categorize different kind of information which you think that is similar. Just separate it out from this collection. Just separate it out. Separate it out, and I'll tell you what to do next. Just separate the similar kind of information together, and once we do for each and every information, that is each and every information, then we'll be proceeding with the things, right? Any problem here? Any problem to anyone?
I'm good.
Yeah. What about others? What about others? Everyone is good. There's one type of information like and answered and from answered and above. Do you know what nutrition is food to eat?
I think this categorization decision is being taken by the entire UX lead or entire team, or just the person who are assigned.
It is like see definitely there is a group work that happens. So whatever information. So whenever you will be working in the industry, you will not be working alone on these projects. So there would be there would be a team of 5 6 people who would be doing it because just consider a point where you have to take an interview of different people and you have to take interview of at least 50 60 people. So will you be able to do that considering that each of the interview would take at least 1 hour or half an hour? So first, see, like what is the issue that happens in actual real life? What happens? So when we do actual interviews with customers or maybe captains at Rapido, so what happens is you have to schedule the interview and then you have to take their consent key. You will be taking their interviews and they have to feel comfortable with it. Right? There are many issues with that. So for tackling all those things, you require a team, right? So whenever you will be working in that in the industry, you will be working definitely you will be working in a team. Not much, if not much, then also it would be like 3 4 people at least. And the this all affinity mapping is done with those 3 people on 3 4 people who are there or maybe more people. So we all sit together and then we put all the insights together and then we sort we discuss what kind of information should go at what place, and then based on that what we do, we categorize the information so that it is not biased according to my insight or my thinking, right? And we categorize it, and then we show it to our UX lead who is there, or the manager who is leading the project, right? And we verify it. There are some suggestions or some categorization, further categorization that is required. So sometimes it is it becomes key. I put some insight on different category, but it should belong to different category, right? So that can also happen. So we make changes to it, and then we finally settle down into one proper affinity mapping. This is what happens in actual way. Got it?
Yes.
So have we categorized everything? Quantity of food is not enough. The places to get food a bit far away from the house. The price of food material is high. Um, some they are ready to spend in the case to basic like child pregnant women. Okay, this is related to expenditure. This is related to expenditures. It should go. Like where you have put the content related to expenditure on food. Is there any place that you have written it? Anyone? Um, the quality of food material they're not getting is not good. So maybe you can divide this insight down into.
I have written economical, financial, they are not good, so they cannot
Hmm,
fit.
yeah, like if you think that it can be broken down into several different insights and it belongs to different categories, you can do like that also. Like you can introduce a new sticky note and just and then copy paste the things, just cut paste the things which are there, right? Like this, you can divide it into two parts so that you get a better categorization. See, this is how you can divide the insights into three different parts as well. So wherever you think that, yes, though you haven't written it together, but if you think that it can be categorized differently, you are free to break it down into simpler pieces and then categorize it nicely. Like these three information were together, and anything else answered in number. So these are the some categories that we have found out now. So almost we have categorized all the type of information which was there, right? So can we name it? Can like will it be possible for us to name them easily? Yes. Now that we have categorized it, we can name them, right? Yes. So till this point, everyone is clear. Yes. No. Any issues till this point?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Should we proceed with the next step? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll just take a stop to understand what like how this is going for everyone. So because I've been listening to like only two or like three people right now, so just wanted to check if everything is consumable to everyone or not. You can just if you're not comfortable with just telling, you can just write down in the chat as well. Yes. No. Is it okay? Or like should, like is there anything that I need to repeat to anyone? No. Yeah. So let's name these labels. Okay, what does these labels mean? Labels actually mean, right? Let's see. Let's see what does these actually labels mean, and so what is this related to? Like this related to uh, food eating habits. This related to eating habits, right?
It can also be food affordability.
Can say that like label is totally in like and totally like up to you like what you want to like. So it can be food like what you said, food affordability, right? Or
That
food.
cannot be there because food availability is something like now whether it's available or not. But
Hmm.
eating habit is like what you eat on the day-to-day
Food.
basis.
Hmm. Food eaten on daily basis. This can be the right. This can be a proper label to it. Or source of food. This is related to source of the food people are users get, right? What does this mean? Quality of the food, quantity of the food, problems faced with the food, right? Problems faced with the meal. I can say meal, not food, like or maybe meal food, right? Like try to get the labels to these as well. Like just try it once, and if you're like if you're able to, otherwise I'll help you out. What kind of categorization needs to be done? Done with it? Just give me a second. Are we done with the labeling? Expenditure and load. Yeah, good to. So what we are going to do, so see now that we have labeled it accordingly, so what we are going to do is now we'll refine it. So did you like do you see this? Do you
Yes.
see this? Do you see this? So we
Can
have to simplify
you
it.
please,
Yes. Sorry.
zoom?
Yeah, yeah, sure. See. So right now the categorization that we have did, that is not simplified. So now is the time we will be simplifying it further to make the final affinity mapping. Right now what we did categorization. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry, like the connection got disconnected. So do you see this? So whatever affinity mapping that we are doing right now, we have to make it down. Like we have to simplify it down to this very level, so that everything becomes like, even if you see it in a in a instance, that becomes understandable to you, right? That becomes understandable to you, and you access it very frequently. So I'll tell you why we are making like that. So let's simplify it down and make the final affinity mapping that we are trying to do, right? So come, are we all on Miro board?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, so there are few things that you need to keep in mind while defining the final affinity mapping, which is you have to put out the pain point. Pain points are the
Can you,
important thing.
actually your voice is not clear.
Hello, is it clear now?
Now better.
Yeah. So what you have to do, so you have to keep in mind some of the points, which is there should be pain point, whenever you're doing final affinity mapping. Mm,
Aditya, while showing PPT, what you said, like we have categorization, we have done categorization, and
mhm.
then we have to simplify it.
Yeah, simplify it. We'll simplify it down and see if we can further categorize it, within the
Simplify
categorization.
simplification for the categorization we have done.
Simplification for the categorization that we had. Yes, and we'll
Okay.
try to find out if there is a further simplification that we can do. We'll do that, right?
Okay.
Right. Right now, these all insights are in the form of sentences, right?
Yes.
So if you have a quick look at it, you will not be able to understand what it is written there, right?
Basically, what is the pain area? Like it's a
Yeah, something like that. Something I'm talking about rice and smashed potato, like crushed potato. So that is a good information, like uh, but mostly wheat based foods, dal and some regional vegetables. So when I zoom into it, then only I'll be able, especially in this 80% of the 80% of it they eat right, and they eat rice both times. Sometime they eat 20%, sometimes they eat 20% chapati and other foods, right? So these all answers, and there is a possibility on it to simplify it down more into simpler pieces, right? So how we can do it? So let's take the first one and see what we can do here. Like, so what we can do here is we can we can write out food eaten, and what simplification we can do is we can copy this down and we can write as like wheat based most wheat based foods, right? If possible, simplify simplify it down to some dal and some regional vegetables, right? And what thing you will do, whatever information that is very common here, you will omit that. Like you will not repeat that. Suppose that in two three insights we are getting common side, which is dal. So what, we'll not write it again. So we'll shorten it down. We'll simplify it so that all the information that we get is unique, right? Eating pattern. Eating pattern, here we are getting eating pattern, right? So here we are getting two things. Have a look at it. We are getting two things from here, which is wheat-based foods see, it has been covered. Like chapati has been covered. Rice is not written. So what you will do? You will eat rice. Right? Getting it? What I'm doing?
Yes.
Rice because it's cheap and like we can have a reason also, like reason to afford a specific food, right? So what are the reasons that are associated? So reasons can be cheap, right? Cheap, uh, local or easily available, right? Local crop easily available. And what are the what different eating patterns can be inferred from this, right? Mostly eat rice, almost 80%. You can write, right? Hmm. They eat vegetable but limited to potato and onion. Milk, curd are not available. Food eaten. Uh, eating part. Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, something can be wants food, but just give me a second. Yeah, wants it, but not available. So milk and curd is something which they want, but is not available.
Aditya, like we are creating more categories, possible categories,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, yes. So the reason why we are doing all this thing is to make the information very digestible. Like see, like if you have a look at it, like food eaten, you will just have a look at it. What are the food eaten? You'll see wheat is there, dal is there, regional vegetables is there, and rice is there. Eating pattern can be there. Reason for is for affording a specific food. What is the thing that they want but they are not able to get? These things, right? And similar things can come up with the other things as well, like source for getting the food. So, like, can you all write it down? Like, will it be easy for you to write it down? Also, if you have any questions, if you have any questions related to it, like you can let me know. Or everyone is clear of it. Yes.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. So let's take a break of 20 minutes and then let's come back and we'll finalize this affinity mapping. We'll do persona and then we'll be moving ahead with the customer journey mapping, right? So this is almost done. By the time we'll be back, we'll be like speeding this up. Like we are almost done with the affinity mapping. I'll tell you afterwards. I'll tell you how to create persona based on this, right?
Can you also share some case studies, different case study which already had?
Yeah, like that. By when once I share this recording with you tomorrow I'll, like or by the day end, I'll share you some case studies as well where these has been applied like efficiently, right?
Okay. Okay. So moderator, can you please take a note and transfer to us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right, yes.
Yes, sir. I mean, if they don't provide us, then we try
Yeah,
to.
I'll be sharing like through the team only. I'll be sharing it,
Okay.
so that is not an issue. I'll be sharing some case studies which have been like which are in which affinity mapping has been done, and the complete process is there.
Yes,
Not
yes.
particularly affinity mapping, but all of it. So we'll be taking a break of let's say 20-25 minutes, and then we'll be joining back for the next things, right? So
Yeah.
right now it
Sure.
is 11:35, and we can meet by 11:55, right? 11:55, and then we'll continue with the next things, right?
Yeah. And we will also using Figma anywhere.
Not as of now. Like I am targeting to like tell you everything on Adobe XC. But yeah, if you have some specific questions from Figma, you can discuss it.
That is fine. Adobe is also fine. Not a problem.
Sorry.
That is also fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with both of the software, but I prefer XD due to the interactivity that
Yes.
like the interaction design that I
No,
can do.
you are
That's
right.
the
No, you are right.
yeah.
Adobe is anytime better.
Yeah. So the collaboration thing is very good in Figma, but like I don't prefer it because like the interactivity thing you cannot explore like UI UX design in
Yes.
Figma. That is a very limited thing. So that's why I prefer Adobe. But however, if you have any question that is related to Figma, you can ask it.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll meet back by 11:55, and then
Okay.
by
Fine.
then you can just take some rest, and then we'll meet back. Hello, is everyone back?
Yes, Aditya.
Yeah. So let's start. Let's get back to the Miro board. Can you all please come to Miro board? So I'm just quickly finalizing the affinity mapping. So you can put down points from the points which I have not taken. You can just look at the points and you can mention it. And if you think that something needs to be rearranged, like something does not belong to this part, and it needs to be go to some other part, you can do that as well, right? I have taken from all the awareness, expenditure and affordability, necessary spending conditions. I'm writing it down.
What output we are looking from this diagram?
Sorry.
What output we are looking from this? Just the categorization.
So after this output, we will be creating personas based on this. Personas like fictional characters. Like you have conducted a study on different users, right? So those users are not single users, right? There were many users on which you have created the interview, right? Now to simplify the process and to make the process user centric, what you will do, you will create a fictional character which is called persona. And for creating that persona, you will take this as a base. You'll take this as a base and you will create that persona. Got
You
it?
are saying persona will be created from affinity diagram.
Yeah, yeah. There are other methods also to create personas. Like there are different kinds of personas like proto persona, quantitative persona, qualitative persona, right? So there are different kinds of personas which are there, but it depends on what type of like there's a proper process that should be taken, and then the persona should be created, because in this way you consider all the points which can be possible, right? Otherwise, like if you like get with the other methods, so it might not be that efficient, because you're not considered like different points of different views of different people, right? Getting it?
Can you please repeat? I didn't understand that different type of persona and
Yeah.
how do we determine which one fit for which case? Hello, is I'm audible? Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yes,
Yes,
am I
Aditya.
audible?
Yes.
Yes, Arun. Please tell me.
Yes. Can you repeat that
Yes,
different type of persona and when to use such type?
yeah, I'll be covering. I'll just like just let me just finish. Let's just finish with affinity mapping. We are coming to persona only. Like we'll be covering what are different types of personas and how do we create it. Right? We will be going with the step by step process. Right? So in pain points, so we have categorized almost everything. Just have a quick look at is there anything that is missed in this final affinity mapping, or have we covered all of this thing? They don't know how much they need to spend, but they are ready to the one for whom they want to spend. Like, and I did not get what you mean to say
Basically,
with this.
they don't know what is the limit, what is the like max they can spend, but they're ready to spend for the cases where they are like some women which are pregnant, child, or some old age.
Hmm. 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 Don't know how much to spend. Ready to spend. Right? This is what it is written. Right? So
Yes. Some
now you have categorized almost all the data here. Now have a look at these data, and in this you will find all the pain points which are there and all the motivation which might be possible. You'll get all of them like all of them which within these points also, like these points only, like what can be the possible pain point, what can be the possible like pain points is the simplest thing that you can find out in this affinity mapping. What is that? See, motivation can have this information passed on from the elders. This can also be a motivation that they are rigid or rigid to what they already know, and they know, and that has been authenticated. So that is a kind of motivation that you can consider, right? What do you think on that? You can just put it in the motivation, like don't consider that whether it is being copied or not. Like motivations are like clear points, what is making the user motivated, and pain points are whatever things are there which is making the user feel frustrated, right? Similarly for pain points, so pain points, what you can do, not sufficient for all the members, right? Don't know, ready to spend but don't know how much. See, this can be a motivation as well, and yeah, this can be a motivation, right? See,
right.
they are ready to spend but sorry.
Yeah, right. That can be a motivation.
Yeah, yeah, no affordable sources of good staple, right? This can be a pain point. Similarly, you can find out what are the different financial problems. One of the pain points can be there, right? Material cost is high,
But it is repeating, so that is fine.
right?
Like in expense also it is there, and also we are considering in pain point, so that should
Yes,
be fine.
yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. So this is also, you can add more if you want. So this is how we come to the final affinity mapping, right? This is how we come to the final affinity mapping. So just have a look at the process that we have gone through, like previously. So we started from the problem statement, then we defined demographics, then we thought on what are the questions that we need to ask, then we finalize questions, then with the interviews we found out some insights, then we categorize those insights based on different categories, right? And then after that we did final affinity mapping, right? Is there anything anyone wants to ask, or anything that is not clear, or that is to be repeated, anything? Yes, no?
I'm good.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
What about others? Yeah. So let's move on to creation of personas. So after we have created affinity mapping, so we'll be creating the personas. So I'm just putting all the content sequentially. So if you have to access access this data, so you will be able to quickly do it, right? So persona, how do we create personas? So personas, let's have a look at what personas and does really mean. So
For persona also, like we have to ask users only, right? Like
now you don't have to ask users. You have already asked users, right? So don't have to create
okay,
now when you create persona, you will be creating based on that affinity mapping. Consider, like, see,
okay,
if you want to create persona based on asking people, you can do that. But what is the limit of persona that you are trying to make? That is the issue. Because, like, if you are trying to make as many persona as possible, that is okay. But what will happen if you want to create
like
only one or two persona, right? Then it becomes a very huge issue, because you have to
yeah,
shorten, like you have to make make the content shorten down, based on likabilities and similarities, right? And then you have to find out and make a persona.
mm,
So that's why once we do affinity mapping, then making persona based on individual questioning and individual interviewing, that is not required. And that is why we create personas after affinity mapping, right?
okay,
Before this concept, there is a concept of value proposition canvas. So that we'll be covering in next session. So when we start with the visual design, so like today we'll be ending with the mostly we'll be ending with the UX part, and in next session we'll be starting with the visual design principles and different techniques too. Different techniques which is used in visual design. Will be knowing how to create a style guides, design, what are design systems, what are the different UX laws and heuristic evaluation of UI design, and then finally we'll be starting off with the wireframing thing, right? So most probably we'll be ending with the UX part today. So have a look what persona is.
so you said
So
value proposition should be done before. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry to cut you
no,
off.
no,
Go ahead.
like that is a concept that you need to know. That is a concept that you need to know. That is not a process. That is not a process. That is a consideration which you take whenever you are designing anything,
But that
right?
need to be done before
There's a
persona.
concept, like it is like I have like placed it like just after this affinity mapping, just as a concept. Like it is not a
Okay,
process.
the
Like value
awareness.
proposition canvas, yeah, it is a kind of
Okay,
process. Like it is kind of a this concept which you need to know what is
okay,
it and how it does impact the product, right?
okay,
So like it does not affect the flow of what you're learning. It is just an extra thing that you should know in a general industry terms, right? So coming on to persona, let's have a look at what persona really means. So user personas are actually fictional characters. A overview of a fictional character, a personality of a fictional character, which is created out of affinity mapping to understand what our target users are, and for whom we are making the product or solution for. Behaviors patterns and interaction patterns that we have found out using affinity mapping. Using that, we'll be creating two or three personas, right? So I'll be showing you how to create one persona, and based on that, you can create multiple personas. So at max, you can create two personas, right? At max, two, or maximum if you want to go more than two, three is more than enough. You will not require more than three personas, but it is suggested you go with only two, not more than that at this point of time, right? So personas. So why do we create persona? So this is based on the similar interaction pattern that is found in the humans, like like I think I have discussed this in last class as well. Okay, let's say there are 10 people, then there are 10 people of whom you are taking interview of, right? So there would be people who will have similar mindset, right? Is that possible? people will be there who will have similar mindset, and they will have similar likabilities, motivation, goals, and pain points. That
Yes,
might
I
be
can
similar
agree.
to, yeah, for let's say
So,
4 people it is similar, for 3 people it is similar, and for 3 more people it is similar. Yes.
Correct.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So due to that only, so what we do, so after we do affinity mapping, we find out similar, like on the properties or the behaviors which we find in affinity mapping that are entirely opposite. We divide them into different personas, right? Suppose that like if you have a look on this Miro board, so some people are there who are having financial problems, right? So some people are there who are having financial problems, and they cannot afford nutritional food, right? These are one kind of people, right? Then again, there come people who are ready to spend, but they don't know how to expend, or what amount to spend, right? So they then you got two type of people, right? So based on these two factors, you can create two personas. The person who is financially unstable or financially weak, how will he fit into the picture, and what will happen to the person who is ready to spend but does not know anything about it. Got it? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So so based on that we create personas, right? So personas are the fictional representation of characters, like fictional characters, which are actually based out of your affinity mapping insights, and you take them into the complete design journey process, so that whenever you have to validate anything from the design process, you don't look back to affinity mapping or any research data that you did. So for more detailed information, you can have a look at affinity mapping, or otherwise, if you want just to verify what information is needed, whether the solution that I'm making is it getting verified with the customer or not, then what we will doing, we will be just taking a look at persona, and then we'll be validating yes, whether the solution that we have created is it matching the requirement or not of the person. Getting it?
Actually, I'm not 100% sure. So you are saying
Sorry.
persona. For example, if we take persona, we are taking two persona. One is financially strong, and another is financially weak. Right.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Correct. Right. But like for
Yes,
persona,
yes.
like other information required, like dislike, what is the pain area, and all this. How this information will get.
So, we'll map out, like, see, we are making fictional characters, no? Like we are not looking at creating actual characters. We'll be creating personas with the help of mix of all those things that are there in affinity mapping. So we'll not select very random things, but things which can be similar, which can be aligned to one character. We'll be taking those information, and we'll be putting that together.
So, so in real time also we do the same thing, or we get persona data separately.
Yes, yes, we do that in real time as well.
Okay. Okay. Got you.
Yeah. So as extensive you make the affinity mapping, better you make the affinity mapping, the better you get the persona, right? Since we are making it with very less information, right? We are not making our persona or our affinity mapping that is based on very huge amount of research data, right? Do you agree on
Okay.
that? So the
So
type of the quality
in
of
real
sorry,
in real,
sorry.
sorry to cut you.
Uh-huh.
In a real scenario example, input for persona will be not affinity.
Sorry.
In real scenario, what will the
Uh-huh.
input for persona? Affinity or
Yeah. Affinity is the input for persona. Sometimes what will happen, so sometimes the companies are not ready to put so much investment in the research process. So what they do, they fetch the information, or they hire companies to do research for them, right? and they deliver the data of the research to them in a like Excel sheet format or some format, right? So that happens with us also. Like sometimes we get information in an Excel sheet with different insights or data from different demographics, and then you have to take that data and convert that into persona. That also happens sometimes. But the traditional method of making a persona should be like going with the affinity mapping and then do the persona.
Okay.
Getting it?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you use Excel file, like you already use the already done research data. Like suppose if you set up a design research team in your company, that will cost that will cost different amount of money, right? You have to employ people. You have to employ people for that, right? You have to employ people for that. You have to give money to them, right? But when you do it laterally, when you do it laterally or with the third party sources, they only they do research based on what you say to them, and they give you that data of that research, which you can further utilize it for your own benefit. So it happens in many different ways. Okay, how you are getting that insight to make the persona.
Okay.
But if a design research team is set up in some companies, so they will always go with the interview and then make affinity mapping, and then they will be proceeding ahead with the persona thing.
Okay. So in real scenario, they take persona from affinity.
Yes. Now let's have a look at what are the benefits of user personas. Build empathy with the target user. That is already when that we are doing. We are trying to understand the user.
Sharing it
What
again. Are you sharing slides? I cannot see slides.
is it? Oh,
Are you
so
sharing
sorry. So
slides?
sorry. Yeah. Just give me a second. There's so much noise around me. So sorry for that. Is it visible now?
Yes. Just make a presentation mode so that.
Yeah. Yeah, is it visible now? Yeah. So the benefits of user personalizes, the first thing that we are already doing, we are building empathy with the target user. We are understanding the user, how is he is reacting to something, what are the pain points or what are the motivation he has. We already did with the help of affinity mapping, right? Now, what other things that benefit with the help of persona, like we can get the direction of making design decisions.
Sir, I have
So
one
when you
question.
have, yes,
So in case of persona, if we make one particular persona, in that case, we will have to consider the positive points and the negative points both.
yes, you always consider positive and negative point both.
Okay, sir.
So positive points are how positive points are mapped. So positive points are mapped to create engagement in the product. Suppose that you like to play. That is a positive point, right? But you don't like very longer you don't like very longer processes, right? When you play any game, you don't like very long games. You want short games. You like to play very much, right? But you don't like to play long games, right? So there are two aspects of it. The play you like to play, that is a positive thing. You don't like to play longer games, that is a negative point, right? So how you can combine both into a product is you can improve the play experience. You can improve the play experience with the help of different concept. You can use gamification. You can use different like animations and interactive animations, some micro interaction you can use, so that your play time gets enhanced, right? And that can be and that the other thing that I can do is I can target on making smaller games which are very engaging, right? So in this way your both of the intuitions will be satisfied. Okay, what are the positive things that were there in persona, and what are the negative thing that was there in the persona. You try to club it both in a manner that the the end product becomes more usable. Getting it? So positive points we use for creating engagement, negative points we use for simplifying experiences and like improving the UX flaws in the system. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, like personas provide direction to design decisions. Like whenever you have to make any design decisions, you can just have a look at persona, like for validation purposes. Like if it is like after validating, you can you can take the design decisions, right? Communicate research findings. If you have to tell someone ki what did you find from the research, you can directly tell them the persona. Sometimes whenever you go and whenever you go and appear for a job interview and like in future for a design interviews, so sometimes you will find sometimes you will find that they will not give you to make like they will not ask you to do so much research. Instead of that, they will just give you a persona. Based on that, you have to create a product, or let's say 2 3 screens or maybe anything that is whatever end product they are requiring and that they require. They will just give you a persona and then they will ask you to create some product based on that persona. Because why they are giving that persona? Because that is a already researched thing which is there, right? To avoid conflict within the team. So when all of the team
But
gets aligned to persona.
Adit, one
Sorry.
question. But
Yes.
if somebody give us only persona, so in persona there are not
Mhm.
much information where you can start creating a product or
Mhm.
design.
So so whenever you will be getting that persona, you will not be getting a persona, only persona. You will be getting the problem statement and an idea of what you are going to create.
Okay.
Then along with that, you will be getting that persona, so that you can be aligned what you need to create, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. To avoid conflict within the team, so if persona is created and everyone has agreed upon it, so everyone will use it as a referential element, and there will be no conflict within the team because everyone has different mindset and different way of thinking, and they might come up with different kind of research, right? So personas help them to be on the same page. Management control, it helps to manage the product very well. Now coming on to type of personas, type of what are the different type of personas. So now right now we are looking at qualitative personas because the way that we have found that the way that we are using for creating our personas right now, that is a qualitative process, right? We have used interviews, which is a qualitative research method, right? So the outcome of that research and affinity mapping, that will be a form of a qualitative persona, right? Statistical personas are those personas which are entirely based on surveys. Suppose that you have only considered surveys in the process to create a persona, then those kind of personas will be called as statistical personas. And lightweight proto personas, what are lightweight and proto personas? It is based on what you think of a user. Like you don't do any research in this first type of persona, which is lightweight or proto personas. You just make a persona ki, this is a sample user, this is a fictional character, and he has this characteristic, like he thinks like this, he thinks like this, and that is entirely based on the group that you are working with. Like if you are working in a group of 4 5 people, right? If you are working in a group of 4 5 people, then what you do, then all those 4 5 people will create a quick persona which they think that can be a possibility, and then same goes with you as well. So it is not based on any research, so you quickly create a persona. And why, when these personas are used, lightweight or proto personas, when these are used, so when you have to quickly iterate on any idea of a product, then you use proto persona. Because when you don't have the time to do research on, then you don't go with the qualitative or the statistical persona thing, right? Then you go with the lightweight or proto persona method to just quickly iterate on what can be the idea of the project, right? And after knowing all this, so this is a sample persona. So there are some extra elements in this persona which is there, so that I'll be talking of. So there are few elements of the persona which are there, right? So first is demographics. Demographics, how we have defined for this thing, affinity mapping. So we will take that inspiration only, inspiration from demographics only, from the affinity mapping, and we'll be putting that into our persona. Like we are, since we are making our user research, we are focusing our user research on children and small kids, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll take, whenever we will define the demographics of our persona, we'll take those age groups and those kind of people only in the demographics. Like the age can be for, like, let's say I'm making a persona for a woman. So the her age can be 23 years, occupation can be housewife, status can be married, location can be like anywhere, like whatever demographics we decided on the affinity mapping, like areas of Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh. This is what we decided on, right? So we can put location like that, like, and an archetype, like archetype. So you are seeing a new term here is, which is archetypes. I guess I already told you, archetypes are the personality types. Like some person is shy, some person is outgoing, some person is extrovert, introvert. So those are called the archetypes. So you can define that what kind of personality this person has, right? You can complement the persona with a photo. Now comes, what are the most important things that you need to include in a persona. First is goals, second is pain points. Okay, goals and pain points are the most important things and that you need to include in personas. Apart from that, motivations are something that you need to include, and a little about the persona, a little about the person, like a little about the character of a little about the character of which you are making the persona of. Rest of the things are like, there are many things which you can keep on adding, like if you're making for like some technological related things, so you can add technological expertise in that, and like how it is written here, brands, like with what brands he is influenced, and things like that. So you can add, keep on adding different things. But the major things which are included in persona is motivation, goals, frustration, bio, demographics, and a photo. Photo is optional, you can just sketch out a photo, that is actually not required, but if you want you can put a photo in that. Any doubt till here?
No.
Yes, no, all good. So let's come again to our Miro word and the start creating the
So
persona.
just one question in persona also, we determined what are the questions or what are the information we need to have for that particular persona.
So you will take the inspiration of this, like we'll take the information that we have collected in affinity mapping, no?
Okay.
We'll take the information which we have collected in affinity mapping. That's why we were doing affinity mapping. So as to, like, we can quickly get to the, like, we can quickly create the persona, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So like I'll be creating a rough persona. Uh, Sorry. So what things I'll be including? So I'll be including name and demographics. Right? Name and demographics will be there. Now what else will be there? Bio will be there. motivations, goals, and pain points. Right, and if you want to include an image, you can do that. So, like profile, just download a profile pic, something to just okay. And we are making with women now. Mm, copy link. And I'll just put it here. This photo, I'll put it here. You can just paste a photo here. Yeah, this is the women for which you're creating the persona for, right? So name and demographics. What should I write on the name and demographics? Just tell me. What should be so name? What should be the name? Any fictional name you can think of. So name can be, let's say, Maltina, Malti Devi. What she does? Her age is of 45 years. Housewife and married. What are the other things that is included? Yeah, location. What locations she come from?
Jargon.
We should be more specific about the city, maybe.
Rashi.
So this is name and the demographics that we have decided. Now now one of the most important thing that we need to do is writing the bio. We have to be careful while writing the bio, because we'll be taking this thing into customer journey map. So whenever you will write a bio of a persona, try to make it in a form of a little small story which has a process in it, like give a overview of what a day in a life of Malti Devi looks like, and then write a bio of her, right? So, so you can write, and Malti Devi is a housewife, and she likes to take care of she likes to take care of her. She she takes care of everyone in the family. So her usual days starts with finding, like going to the market and buying vegetables. And so, what are the problems that she's facing? Like when she goes to the market, she finds, like she thoughts of using she thoughts of buying some nutritious vegetables, but she is not able to get that because that is very costly or expensive. And she gets whatever she can afford in that budget, and she comes back to home. You can put out stories like that, right? Which can be made around this thing, right? And before that, what you can do, you can just go to like before you write the bio, what you can do, you can just go to affinity mapping and put motivations, goals, and pain points in the from the affinity mapping to the this thing that we have written in motivations. So we can write we can uh, so we go with the pain we go with the goal points. So information passed from elders, and will be trying to make it, refine it in a form of a goal. So she information passed on, so she loves make traditional recipe, right? Traditional food. What are she loves to make traditional food. What else? What else you can write? Anything that comes to your mind? What motivation? Just have a look at have a look at the affinity mapping, and then and and tell me. These 2 points we can include in the persona. No affordable, no affordable sources to good of good staple, financial problems, right? And any other pain point? Yeah. Hmm. This can also be a pain point, right? Material cost is high, so we can include it in pain points, right? Goals. What can be the goals? Goals is like she wants to feed she wants to feed quality food to her family members. This can be a goal as well, no? Because she is not getting she wants to feed quality food to her. She wants to feed quality food to her family, and she can spend a little extra for that, right? So this can be goal and pain points of Malti Devi. What can be the motivation? What makes her feel motivated? What makes her feel motivated? So motivations can come from like random things as well. Like she loves if she cooking. Cooking is his motivation, and something cleaning. Cooking can be her motivation. What else can be motivation? Any traits of motivation that you can tell? Yes. Motivation, cooking can be motivation. Yes, people.
So getting more work for herself so
Getting
that she can earn more, and give good food to her family.
Getting more work. Okay. Or let's say working. House or working. It, this can be there. Let's keep two motivations only. And now based on these motivations and goals, we'll write down a bio of Malti Devi, which looks like a day in a life of a Malti Devi, right? So we can write as see what we can write. So Malti Devi is a housewife who loves to take care of family members and treats them with best possible food. She usually goes to the market and finds that the vegetables are too costly and wants to have an alternative solution from where she can get the items in affordable rates, which are nutritious. Like this, we can write down a story for her, like a little bio story for her. So this is how your persona will be complete. So why I'm writing, so any curiosity why I'm writing that bio in that way? Yes, no?
So basically, it will give us a clear picture of the merits and the demerits, or the points which we can consider while making the product.
Yes. Yes. So since we are considering a day in a life activity of multi-level, so what the best thing that we can get is, so we'll be able to identify what is actually happening in life of multi-level and how we can pitch our product that is according to that, right? Otherwise, it is just in some insight that on which we are working on, and it would be no of much help, right? So
Help
what
in
we are
user
going to
journey.
do, we sorry.
It will help in user journey.
Yes, yes. So after this, so like this is the person, like this is how we create a persona. So you can create one more persona of
Aditya, you are
your
speaking from
promising.
far or what? I mean, your voice.
No, no, no. I'm not speaking from work. Is it better now?
Yes, now it's better.
Yeah, yeah. So so what happens after we create a persona? So we amplify this bio in a form of a user story. So till this point, everything is clear to everyone. Yes,
Yes.
or anything that needs to ask. Okay. So I'll take you again to the slides, right? And we'll see what are the next step that we have to do after you have created a persona. So now you need to create a scenario. Like problem scenario is a day in a life narrative of a person. So here the person will be, and the persona, the person will be the one who for whom you have made the persona, right? That person's day in a life scenario, right? And what you will try to map in that scenario, and that scenario can also be called as user stories. right? Or UX stories, scenarios, user problem scenarios, stories or user stories. Everything has, and like everything is same. Nothing, like no difference is that. Just that some places people pronounce it differently. Just that, nothing else, right? So what happens when whenever you create a problem scenario, you write a problem scenario, you take use of that bio which is written in the person, like bio which is written in the persona, right? Bio which is written in the persona, you take that, you create a day in a life narrative, and you just make a story, a process story of what is happening in a life of Malti Devi in a normal day. And then what we, and through that problem scenario, what we are trying to achieve, what we'll do, we will try to break it down into smaller pieces, and we'll analyze key what is happening actually in each and every step. What are the tasks she is able to accomplish very easily, and what are the tasks that she is able to accomplish, like she is not able to accomplish nicely, right? And once we do that, then we'll be able to know what are the things that we need to do, what are the things that we are not, and what are the things that we need to do, and like, or that we think that we need to ideate as a solution or a feature in our application, and what are the things that we can take advantage of. The things which are good, we can take advantage of it, and the things which are not good, we can try to address that problem, right? Yes, no?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why to create problem scenarios that gives a very detailed insight of what is happening in the life of the user. Help the design team construct the sequence of events. Like this becomes important when you create the user flow of this becomes important when you create user flow of the app, like how generally the user is doing different tasks. So based on that, you create user flows, right? And you implement that into the application design, right? It provokes ideas and discussion for improvisation of the product by understanding the user's lifestyle better. So with the help of this, you can understand the lifestyle of the user in a much better way, which you can take into consideration while you do the customer journey mapping, right? It all fall down, or it all comes down under simple things, right? And after that, so this is a simple story, like you need not to write this much long, only one paragraph which has 50, 60, 70 words, that would be sufficient for any user story to just summarize what is happening, what is happening with the user, right? This is a very big user story. You need not to make it that much long. And as an assignment for today, you need to do affinity mapping. You need to create personas, and after that, you will need to create user stories for uh, till we join in the next session. So when we'll join in the next session, we'll start with the customer journey map, and then we'll start with the user flows and information architecture, and we'll be moving ahead with the wireframing. Right? Just have a look and just take two minutes of your time and try to read this user story. And right now it is 50, like 12:52. You can just take 2 minutes of time and read about this user stories, and let me know once you're done. Is it fine?
I have I have one question. Can I ask?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So what is the relation we get from affinity to persona and then user story? Because in affinity, we grouped it, we categorize there, and from there we are
Yeah.
driving one user persona. So what is the relation?
Hmm. See, when you were doing user interviews, so what happened? you were trying to find out different experience of different people, right? That was happening, right? Yes or no? So you
Yes.
try to find out what are the different experiences of different people, and what are the different pain points that people are having, right? So
Hmm.
after that, you did affinity mapping, and you wrote down all the experiences and all the insight that you got from that research, right? User interview. After that,
Hmm.
when you made and when you collaborated, like when you collected all those information and made a single user persona, or as a or two user personas, you actually you have actually combined the different experiences into a singular experience, like as if the same thing is happening, like in the all the things are happening with the single person, right? Because
Okay.
when you take individually, like when you take people individually, so it becomes hard to map, because sometimes user is not able to tell you everything, right? you have
Hmm.
to you have to you have to take it out from him or her. Ki what is exactly happening to you, like sometimes the user is not able to even tell ki is that even a problem or not. Like he or she will think that this is usual thing, that this keeps on happening, and I'm getting used to
So
it. That's
basically, we will have to clarify that particular thing from the user by making him explain that particular thing.
yeah, like so our job is not make them clear about things, because they will not understand what we are trying to do, right? So they will only get the context that yes, I am doing something in the terms of food nutrition and all, right? They will not get the idea of what is happening and what you are trying to make as a solution. Your job is to just cooperate with them and try to get more and more experiences and more processes that is happening in their daily lives, so that you could take them and make it use it to make a product.
Can we once go back to affinity diagram?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Here we have grouped it. Can you just zoom further?
Hmm.
Yeah. So see here
What part?
we have
What part?
the category. No, in Miro.
Okay, okay.
In Miro, the example
Just
which
give
we
me a
took.
second. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this example, we have had pain point not sufficient for all member, not affordable,
Hmm.
finance problem, and all this. So
Hmm.
let's say, for example, pain points one, two, three are there, and four pain
Hmm.
points are there. So when we
Hmm.
have gone to persona, so where we have mentioned all these 4 point, we need to mention all these 4 point, right, as a pain.
So you will rephrase it, no? You will mention it, definitely. You will mention it. Like, see, not sufficient for all members. So,
Okay. So
so
basically,
financial problem is there. So I
yeah,
have
so
mentioned it,
yes,
no?
yes,
See.
yes, I got it. So this is for my
Hmm.
understanding. So what we'll do is when
Hmm.
we create persona, we'll try to cover all the. We will try to complete
Hmm.
this categorization based on the problem statement. We'll try to do, capture
Hmm.
maximum
Hmm.
categorization, right? This is
Yeah,
how we'll
yeah, yeah.
describe persona. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah.
when you will make the persona, so you'll try to cover all the insights that you have got in the affinity mapping, and
Hmm.
make it in a form of a fictional character, so that your all the insights are covered, and you take it, you take it into the design process in a form of like a said user. Like we are talking about user centered design, right?
Yes,
With
right.
the help of design thinking. So what is that user?
Okay, got it. No, I got it. I clear my doubt.
Each and every insight, like so when once you have to validate it, so how will you validate it? You will not pick 1 point and 2 point and keep on validating with each other, right? So for that convenience, you make that persona, right? So
Right.
once you make that persona, the validation becomes very easy.
So basically, persona will be like persona is sort of indirectly way a problem, one single problem statement for design.
You can not one single problem statement. You can like there are different
Like
views
for
of
user
it.
understanding, if we say what is the problem for user, what are the user type of user,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
everything you will
yeah.
get in one
Like
particular persona.
yes, 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 yes. Like initially
Okay.
you were saying that can't we create user persona based on like just interviewing people and making persona, right?
Yes,
So
I got
now
my answer. Yes,
we are
right.
doing this. Yeah, you are doing still you are doing the same thing, but you are combining it from all type of users. Like what are the similarities between all those type of users, and you are making a complete one persona for all of them.
Yes, yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so
So
we'll take
one more thing.
stop. Yes, yes, yes.
So in case of persona, suppose we are taking the interview
Mm-hmm.
and we are listing out the things,
Mm-hmm.
we can create a persona at that time itself because one particular person
No,
is
you should not be.
already in front
You
of
should
us.
you should not be. You should not be creating persona at that point of time because see,
Okay.
like again, this also the same one. No? If you create the persona, you can definitely create it. But in case in only that case when you where you want like insight from only one person, then then it's okay. But that should not be the case. No, like whenever you are doing research, you will do on a number of people. You will not consider only one people, right? Only one person in the research process.
Okay.
Yeah. So you should not try to create personas then and there, like whenever you are taking budget. Instead of like you should write inside, do affinity mapping, and then you go to a persona creation. Right? It might be a little like a tedious process, but it is actually helpful in the long run. And when you go to the when you go forward in the process of UX design, then it all makes sense, right? It might you might feel a little disjuncted from this at this point of time, but yes, this all like gets streamlined into one specific direction of the solution on whatever you will ideate on it. So yeah, that is it from today's session. Your assignment will be to capture insights, make affinity mapping, make persona, and complete with the user stories. Till user stories you will be completing, and when we meet back on that session, like on in the next session, we'll be completing the customer journey mapping and feature identification, and then we'll be starting with the wireframing and layouting of the application.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that is it from
And
my
do
side. If you
share the link,
of the recording, right?
recording and the case studies which you said you
Yeah,
will
yeah,
sharing.
yeah, case study. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'll be sharing the